Okay, today I'm going to talk about the build for Rampage. Now, Daniel Kezar watched our last video when we actually took it down the lake. Rampage, in case you haven't seen that video, you probably should go back and have a look, is a ramp that floats on the water. We use it for skipping boats over the top of it. We also use it to rescue boats. So if you've got boats, put them out in the swamp, you lose them. This device is made to bring them back in. Now, we've had we love boating, and it's good fun. RC boating, that is. Big boating's good too. But the problem is that if you get out in the middle of the swamp, something happens, it's really hard to retrieve your boats. You've either got to take a canoe with you or wade out in the water, whatever. So this eliminates that problem, and we thought about it for a long time. We thought about getting a smaller boat to rescue it, something with a pontoon, all that sort of thing. Finally, I actually saw on Instagram a guy had made a bit of a raft for his RCs to get them across a creek, and I thought, wow, great idea. He's used poly pipe and a bit of plywood, and it was like, wow, it's really that simple. So and that's what we've done here. And I think there's some other applications for this as well. You could actually use this craft to, say if you were a government authority and you had to do some water sampling on a lake or on a reservoir and you didn't want to get in there with a boat and disturb the water, you could easily make one of these quite cheaply and have it go out, take a sample, come back, do what you got to do, or take a camera out even. This thing is, big enough and, bulky and robust enough to carry all sorts of equipment and do all sorts of things. So I think it's got some industrial application to it as well. So Daniel Kezar, thanks for the question. We are going to go and have a look at this now. Now, the big thing about this is that we wanted to keep it deadly simple. This at the end of the day is going to be a rescue boat or rescue raft, so we didn't want to make it overly complicated. And we wanted to build it out of materials that we could just get from anywhere. So poly pipe and plastic lunch boxes for the electronics of the go. The only things that we did do, we bought a lot of stuff online from Banggood, and I'll run through some of that stuff now. I've written it down so I don't get the specs wrong. Now, one of the things that we didn't use in this build, but I have used in the past, and I just wanted to show you this. Okay, so that's the DAS Micro bidirectional motor controller, which is, you kind of can see it. There you go, DAS Micro bidirectional motor controller, and they are my manky fingers. Okay, so what does that do? That allows you to use a controller like this instead of one like this if you prefer to actually control your two fans and drive it like a tank. Now, I haven't got that set up here with the fans, but I have got it set up for one of the earlier builds we did, which was the rail boat or fan airboat. I don't know what you want, swamp buggy, whatever you want to call it. But I didn't manage to show you that last time. The other two things that I would recommend that you get is these, and these are very cheap as well. That's just a battery tester. You can take that with you, and really handy for your lipos, just to test, the battery voltage. Very quickly find out what's going on, and you can leave that plugged in and you'll get an audible alarm on your craft. So something like a boat, or example, you'll hear this thing going off when the batteries are going flat. So that's a good thing. And the other thing that I got online as well is this little tester where you can actually plug in a servo and actually just twist this to get it to work. So you can test a servo tester. So that's a good little toy as well, or good little tool. Okay, so let's run it down. What's in this? Let's run down what's in here. Now, the ESCs are inside the arm, and there they are. 22 volt, 35C, 3300 milliamp batteries. So they're fairly grunty batteries. They're pretty serious. 6Ls. Also in there, receiver, which is a Redcon CM703. It's a DSM2. And you can actually attach a satellite to that one. I haven't attached the satellite, but I have installed the two aerials, which you can there see poking out the bottom. I've also got a UBEC Look, there. Now everything I've just velcroed in. I've just kept this really simple because I want to be able to move stuff around and do things. So there's the UBEC. That little sucker is a 3 amp. That's a 3 amp 5 and 6 volts. I've got that set to 6 volts because this is powering 2 fans and a bunch of wire that goes over to the other side here. So we've got a UBEC and a receiver in there and a battery, 1 wire that goes across to the other side. We've got a second battery over here. Once again, and there's another ESC hidden in a pipe over here, which we just, oh, now these aren't, these are just shoved on at the moment, but there's another ESC in there, and down in there is our EDF. So there's the fan motor. I've got a little bit of pipe between the fan and the motor now, and that is because I managed to get my fingers caught in the fan motor, so watch out for that. But now it's quite hard to get your fingers all the way down, so the fan is here, the fan is there, and you can't really get your fingers all the way down without really seriously being completely silly about it. So that is roughly it. This is as big as I could possibly make it. It's 1 meter wide and 1.7 meters long and 500 high. Now it's that big because it only just fits in the back of my car. So I made this to fit in the car, and in order to do that I need to be able to take these motors on and off. It's that wide, it only just fits in. So the motors, that's why the motors are still made so they can come on and off. I can also turn these motors 180 degrees and make it drive backwards as well as forwards. That's not automatic, of course. And I can tilt them slightly. Not that that's been particularly useful, but I did that just in case there was some reason for doing that. Also at the front here I've got a camera which is all self-contained. Once again, that is just a run cam. There's a battery in there and a transmitter, and you can run that in FPV mode. And that's a fully self-contained unit. So the battery, the transmitter and everything are just sitting in there, and I can take that off and stick it onto something else. Once again, it's Velcro and tape. Try to keep it really simple. So there it is, that's the build, that's what it looks like. I'll just run it up and you can see it run. Okay, so this is Rampage. So there you go. If you've got any questions, fire them in down the bottom. I'll try and answer them. Apart from that, enjoy. If you want to build yourself one of those, go for it.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe and watch these crazy videos too. Stupid fast RC.
Now coming up in the next few weeks, we are going to take another look at the Toyota Hilux. We're going to take it out in the sand and I'm going to unbox it. You've already seen this. We took it down to the park and gave it a bit of a run through the park. So we're going to have another look at that. We're also going to build a mini 3D printer. We're going to see if we can print out some RC car parts, see what it is we can actually build with this. We may then do a bigger one, and the other thing that I was thinking of doing is strapping some very large EDFs to an RC car. I'll let you know how that goes. If you've got any comments, ideas, suggestions, put them in the box below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. See you next time.